Hey there, gorgeous souls. Welcome back. Today I have a message for you which starts with a question. So you've probably already read it if you're tuning in, and I can't wait to deliver this message with you guys today, because today I want to talk about one of the biggest challenges that we have in particularly our intimate relationships and all other relationships, where we kind of lead with different elements that I'm going to talk into a bit with you guys today. But I want to empower each and every one of us who have ever struggled with a feeling or a fear of maybe being loved or appreciated or approved of or accepted for elements of yourself that, you know, just feel a bit superficial, and maybe you don't feel like people actually really love you for the truth of who you are, or don't see you as the truth of who you are, for the whole entirety of who you are as a human being. And maybe that feels like, you know, you kind of like feel like you're at a loss, right? Like it feels very surface level in terms of the connection. And I'm going to talk, as always, as I do, speaking about my own personal journey with this. And my hope is that I give you a bit of a different perspective today, because I have really struggled in the past, and it kind of comes up every now and then, and I have to, do the next revolution of my development around this. But I've definitely struggled with feeling a sense of disconnection in terms of, or even question as to why people are giving me the love that they do, right? And so I know the pain and the torment of feeling like you're loved for superficial elements of who you are, and feeling kind of defeated and feeling kind of low and feeling really disconnected because of that. And so I want to talk into and share obviously my own journey with that, in the hope that you find yourself in those elements, and how I've navigated it and how I help other people navigate it, and how I've witnessed other amazing souls in this world grow through it. And hopefully it rubs off in your direction, and you get some value from this as well. So I'm going to take some different angles with it. So I'm asking, the title of today's message is, are you sick of being loved for superficial elements of who you are, and not the truth and the core of who you are? And as always, my messages are always about becoming the creator of your own life and taking the responsibility of how you co-create the different experiences that you do, and not just falling victim to, nobody knows who I am, nobody knows how to love me, and blah, 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 and we stay stuck and limited. But instead, seeing and being aware of the bigger picture of what's being co-created, and you being a part of that co-creation, and then being empowered to make the shift and change to make the transformation that you really want and desire. And so the reason why I felt called to bring this particular message to light today is, recently in my life, I had somebody express a fear that they felt like they were really concerned and worried that I might love them for what they could do for me instead of, I guess, who they actually are. And it kind of awoken me to my own journey with this, right? And where I've been, where I am now, what's gotten me to the place of, being able to accept all love thrown in my direction without that feeling of, they only love me for that, right? And I want you to ask yourself, what are the elements that you feel like people love you for that feel kind of superficial and make you doubt that they even know who you are, or even truly love you for who you are, but instead maybe it's something to do with what you can do for them, right? Like this special person in my life. What are the things that, is it something like that? Do you feel like people are loving you because of what you can do for them? Do you feel like people are loving you because of your physical appearance, which is something that I have feared in the past, right? And I'm going to talk into how to take ownership of this as well. Or maybe it's something, maybe it's they love you because you listen to them, or you validate them, their victim story, or whatever it is, or because other people think that you're a great person, so that other person, you feel like they love you because it makes them look good to other people. Whatever it is, I want you to identify what is one of the superficial or the many superficial ways that you feel like you get loved for and you're sick of it and you really want to be loved for the truth of who you are, okay? So I encourage you to identify that right now. If you can come up with it, drop me some comments and definitely let me know what you're coming up with, and have the courage to share it in our community, because these conversations are all a co-creative experience where we can honor our authenticity and deepen our connection, right? And contribute to one another. So this is the question that I have also. This is what came to me when this person expressed what they did, and I could see myself in their fears, right? For different reasons, but in their fears. And I asked myself, and this was my exact journaling question, I said, why is it that we as human beings tend to lead with the very things that we wish we weren't loved only for, only to be disappointed when those around us love us only for what we have led with, all right? And then, so what does that mean? So for instance, it might be that, for this person, they have a really amazing skill set in a way that could help somebody such as myself, right? In a business sense. And they led with that. In the beginning of the connection, that's what they led with, right? And so, of course, whatever we lead with is going to be the thing that people first recognize as a great thing within us, right? And so they had a brilliant skill set that they led with, all right, and that I loved about them. One of the things that I loved about them. And remember, it's not the only thing, it's one of the things that they led with. Now, for instance, how that's played out in my life is, whatever we get validated for, we tend to lead with before we have a whole self-loving relationship with ourselves, right? That's why we tend to lead with the superficial and then wonder and get disappointed why people only see us for that. And we don't recognize that that's because that's the only thing we're showing. And we're not actually showing, we're expecting other people to see us and love us in these deep aspects of who we are, but we're not actually showing up in those. So how do those people even have the opportunity to really get into that, right? And so we can get into this sense of victimhood, like, my past experience was in intimate relationship. I ended up leaving every single intimate relationship, every single one of them, because I felt like I couldn't be all of who I am with them, right? And that was my mentality. That's what I thought. And my experience was they love me because of my physical appearance, right? And they love me because of all these physical elements, but they're not really loving me for my heart and my soul and my kindness and those deeper aspects of who I know myself to be, right? Like I can still feel the emotion of that because I know the power of being loved for the truth of who you are, not just anything that's in the superficial, right? And basically, I left those relationships thinking, I can't be all of who I am with this person. They just want the superficial stuff, right? And it wasn't until I really took 100% responsibility for that same reoccurring pattern, having me as the common denominator, that I realized that I wasn't sharing more of that. I was leading with the very thing that I didn't want to be only loved for, and then feeling disappointed because that's what the validation was coming back for, and not those deep aspects of what I truly wanted. But instead of feeling victimized, I had to take responsibility and realize that I wasn't sharing and I wasn't leading with all those other aspects of who I was. I was expecting somebody to investigate and go deeper and draw it all out of me and be a mind reader, rather than show up and take responsibility and share and express the truth of who I am in all aspects, so that I can truly be loved and give other people the opportunity to love me for the authentic self of who I am, right? Instead of just what I was leading with. And we all do this. We all lead with an element of us that has been maximally approved of and appreciated and validated from our external people in our world, from all our past experiences. And we lead with that thing that's pretty superficial in some regards, because it's not the whole entirety of who we are. And the reason why we lead with that thing is because we feel like people around us determine what is lovable about us, and we want to be loved, right? That's a human need to be loved. And so we lead with the thing that we've, getting the most approval of. And basically then we get to the same stage of disappointment for feeling loved for only the superficial elements of who we are. But we can't feel victimized by that. What we must do at that point is recognize, that's what I'm leading with. And why is it that I feel like I have to narrow myself into this conditional love and lead with the things that I feel most validated for, instead of the whole of my being? Why do I do that? And the answer is simple and clear for all of us. It is because we are not loving ourselves in entirety, and we are outsourcing the determination of our lovability to everybody around us, rather than doing the deep internal work necessary to fully and truly love the entirety of who we are. And that's why, when we don't do that, that's why we get to that state of disappointment. And myself, where I left every single intimate relationship based on the same answer of, well, I can't be all of who I am with this person, so I'm not going to be any of me with them. And I was not taking responsibility for the fact that I was waiting for them to make it safe and okay for me to be all of who I am, rather than love and appreciate and own who I truly am enough to show up wherever I am with the full expression of who I am, and not just lead with the superficial and not show anybody else the depth, right? Because the only reason we don't share all of who we are with everybody is because we judge ourselves for all those different aspects of who we are, and we don't truly know our inherent value as a human being, not dependent on what we've done or not done we are, or how we look, or how intelligent we are, or what we can do for others and all that sort of stuff. But we just know and trust in our value just for being a human being, right? And how our value is equal to every other human being, every other living thing in this world, right? When we get to that place, that's when we can actually accept however love is thrown our way, right? So this is the shift I want us to have. It's not so much about, I don't want to be I don't want to accept any love or any of that kindness shared toward me for the things that I can do for the people, for the way that I look, for how I can make other people feel. I want to be loved for who I am. No. When you love the entirety of who you are, and you fully accept and appreciate and honor and are grateful for all elements of who you are, you're able to actually accept how love is given to you in whatever limited capacity and through whatever conditional channel from external sources, without the feeling of disappointment for them not seeing who you truly are, right? And this is something I've actually been navigating for the past 3 years really, really deeply and on an everyday level. And for those of you who have followed me for a while now, you might have seen my journey, right, over the past few years. Like, I went from back before 2017 when I was running a business with my then partner, and basically I hid behind the brand of that business that we were co-creating. I never did anything personal posting. I never did any of that stuff. And when I decided that I was going to leave that relationship, and simultaneously the business, and start for myself and just show up and be all of who I am and be authentic, I started this amazing growth journey for myself, which was, I'm going to have the courage to share all of who I am, the struggles, the authenticity, the heart, all of it, right? And not worry and be concerned about how I'm going to appear. And what happened was, I did get, loved for the truth of who I was, and it felt like some of it felt like the most I've ever been loved for the truth of who I am. And there was mixed into that a lot of the superficial elements where I have at times attracted in maybe the wrong kind of audience in terms of not really being there for the right reasons, right? And validating or sharing, compliments about just my physical appearance and not even listening to the message that I was giving, right? And I've gone through some really dark nights of the soul with this, right? And I've even had personal one-on-one conversations with one of my favorite mentors, Dr. John Demartini, where I sat with him and I shared with him my journey with this because on one hand, I wanted to accept kindness thrown in my way, right? But I also didn't want to send out the wrong message, and I didn't want to just be out there because people commented on a superficial element of who I am, right? That wasn't the reason and the drive for me to be here. But what Demartini helped me to see was it's all a part of who you are, and so you don't want to dull parts of yourself down, because you want to highlight these other elements. You want to be the full expression. You want to shine bright with everything that makes you who you are. And if people only see certain elements of who you are, but they're loving towards those, how about we don't reject that? And how about we honor the kindness but shared between strangers, even if it might be in a limited capacity, right? And not reject elements of love that can be showered upon us. And what I saw was when I stopped feeling bad about that and rejecting other people's, expressions of kindness in some regard, and see it in a different light. Instead of me feeling disappointed that people were just seeing a superficial element rather than the depth of what I really wanted to share and be recognized for, I was able to just see it as an expression of kindness in whatever element is showing up for them first. And what I had noticed time and time again was that a lot of people who were coming in for superficial reasons, and actually, a lot of them just stayed superficial, and a lot of them, though, transformed to actually hearing the depth. And it gave me this really beautiful experience of what I'm trying to articulate for you guys today, which is people can only truly love all of the elements of who you are to the degree that you're sharing of them, right? And you can't expect others to not love you for what you lead with, right? Like, just accept you're going to be loved for elements that you lead with. But if you want to be loved for more than just anything superficial, you really need to share that. You have to have the courage to share that. And the only way you have the courage to share all of who you are is when you actually have a great relationship with all of who you are. So you got to do the work on that. And there's a lot of work to be done for every single human being. And my truth is that I don't think it ever really ends. I think that there's always a new level and aspect of who you are that you can love and appreciate more, that you can show more, that you can be more authentically contributing of, right? And the more we are able to see and reflect how our expectations of how others should see us and what they should love us for is really just a mirror to the work that we must do within. And how do we lead more with that? And asking ourselves, why do we lead with superficial things and expect other people not to see those things and appreciate us for those things? And don't throw any sort of kindness or loving expression out, but just when you get to this loving of the entirety of who you are, you get to receive all the different conditional narrow realms that other people might love you and appreciate you for, but you get to experience it as a love for your wholeness, because you're sharing of your wholeness and you're loving and appreciating yourself in the entirety, not just in superficial, narrow ways. All right, so it's a whole journey. I know I've tried to squeeze a lot into that whole message. I really hope that this elements of this really resonated with you, and it's got you thinking about, if you're sick of being loved for superficial elements of who you are or what you can do for others, then instead of feeling victimized by that, see it as the co-creation, take responsibility, and narrow down your unique pathway for growth and how you can be more loving, accepting, appreciating of all the elements of who you are, and sharing those so that other people have the opportunity to love you in the ways that you most wish to be loved. All right? That's my message for you. And I can't wait to dive in and see who's been able to join me today. So make sure you're dropping me some comments, any questions, any words of wisdom, any experiences, any insights. And definitely if this message has been of value to you and you know somebody in your life who could benefit from it, please do share it with them, either personally or publicly, or however you want to do it. I'd absolutely be so super grateful to you guys for sharing it. And I got some exciting stuff coming up for you guys as well, which I'll mention at the end. But let me just check in with you guys. I've got Art in the house, and Johnny, hello to you, friend, to Art, I love it. And DB, hello to you. And Charlie and Sophia and Angel, citizenship. Oh, not sure. Oh, okay. Could that be something that you might be loved for? You let me know what you mean by citizenship. And I can't wait to hear from you. And Uras is here, and Javier. Always good to see you from San Diego, California. I love it. And LaTroya is here as well. And Barry, and thank you for your kind compliments on my outfit today there, Javier. And Thomas, I've struggled with trying to be someone else, so now introducing people to who I really am authentically has been a challenge. Thomas, I love this. I love this share, and I completely resonate with that journey. That's why one of the reasons I am so beyond grateful for each and every one of you guys who I really see you as giving me a platform to authentically express who I am and my journey and everything that I find of value, and give me an opportunity to hopefully contribute to you guys, so that generates a lot of fulfillment for me. And I know the struggle it was when I first started this whole journey of wanting to share more of who I am. And your fears and insecurities can get in the way. But remember, the fears and insecurities connected to you sharing authentically are really the greatest gift. And the reason is because it highlights the personal growth path for you as an individual. It's tailored exactly to the growth that you need. You don't need the course that's set up in this really generalized way. You need a tailored plan. And that's why listening into our own fears is the guiding pathway towards our own best personal growth journey. All right, so I love that. It's definitely a challenge. And the way that I got beyond the challenge was I connected to something bigger than just myself, bigger than just my fears and insecurities. I connected to an intention. Why do I want to share myself authentically? What something bigger than just me? Why would I want to do this? And for me, it was because I really want to have a positive impact in this world. I really want to make my heartbeats matter. If I've got something that I could courageously share from a place of real heart and authenticity, and that sharing could potentially resonate with at least one human being and positively impact them to make a meaningful difference in their life, no matter how small, that's the reason why I choose to break through my fears and insecurities, right? And just get out there and get beyond it. And as you guys know, it's inaction that breeds fear and doubt, but it's taking action that breeds confidence and courage, right? So you just got to get in it and throw yourself in there. So I love that journey, Thomas. Thank you so much for sharing. And Stephen's in the house, and Craig and Sharon and Frida. Awesome to see each and every one of you. And LaTroya, awesome. Okay, I actually stopped wearing makeup and wearing a certain type of clothes because I realized I was tired of being liked for only my appearance, but I realized I wasn't showing enough of my true self subconsciously. Oh, I love this share so much because LaTroya, I went through the exact same journey. I started questioning, and that's when I was talking with Dr. John Demartini. Oh my gosh, I love that guy so much. And he helped me see that no, don't dull yourself down, because what you're doing is you're limiting the authentic expression of who you are. Because for me, like my expression of beauty, I love beauty, right? It's part of who I am. It's one of my highest values. And so I love clothes. I love variety. I love transformation. I love change. And it gives me, an authentic expression from kind of the joy and the color and the emotion of what's going on within me. I express it outside, right? And if I was to stop doing all of that, I would be stopping doing it for the wrong reasons. I'd be stopping doing it because out of fear and insecurity of other people maybe just seeing me in some way. And look, I get judged all the time for wearing makeup and doing my hair and wearing all these clothes, right? I get judged for it all the time, right? But I refuse to be limited by other people's judgments. And the only way I can get to that place is when I know why I do what I do, right? Because everybody outside of you is a reflection of your intentions. If you're doing things intentionally from a fear-driven place or a manipulative place or for whatever reason, then other people's judgments and showing you that, it can get a bit like, oh, right, okay, it hits you in a place that it hurts because it's true. But if you are, if it's the intention behind what you do, if you have an intention behind, I just love how I feel when I express myself in this way, then I don't care what other people say. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, I don't like to be judged. But you know what? I'm not going to let the judgments of others determine how I show up in the world. And I'm going to butcher this, but I love what Lisa Nichols says. It's something along the lines of, if other people don't, who can't handle your shining, just hand them some sunglasses, right? Instead of dulling yourself down, right? So, and I think it's one of the greatest gifts that we can give to any other human being is the courage to be all of who we are, because every single human being wants to just be who they are. They don't want to be limited by the judgments and perceptions of others. They want to be authentic. They want to be loved for the truth of who they are. We all share that. And so when somebody shows up and they're authentic and they don't care and they're just the truth of who they are, and you can genuinely see their good intentions behind that, their self-loving intentions, it gives us this sense of freedom and permission to do the same. All right. So just know that you showing up as the authentic expression of who you are, however that shows up, done from great self-loving intentions, is one of the greatest gifts that you can ever hope to give the people around you who can witness that. So thank you so much for that great share, LaTroya. I love it. And Cheryl's here as well. And Wajeshkio, I don't know how to say your name, but I love having you here. And Jessica's here as well. And Renee. Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for sending me the info a while ago. It's been mental here. I'll soon get back in touch. Thank you for sharing again. So grateful to hear from you, Renee. Yes, I know over in the UK, it's gone crazy. I feel very grateful to be in Australia right now where we're pretty much back to normal. The biggest challenge is that we can't leave Australia. And you guys know me. I love my international travel. So good to hear from you, Renee, and you're so welcome. Grateful that this message has served you, and I can't wait to hear back from you. And Ralph's here as well, and Brian and Amy and Marie, awesome, and Than and Dennis, hi, so true. Wow, thanks for the incredible insight. You are the real deal, superstar. Thanks, Dan. Oh, I'm so grateful for you, Dan, and your kind words, and I'm so grateful found some wisdom or some insight today, and thank you. You're a superstar too. And Joseph is here as well, and Data, awesome. What are some examples of those deeper and internal things we can lead with as we share more of who we are? I love that question, Data, and I love questions, so I love that. So what I would say to that is it's to not put any conditions on what you're sharing. It's to be more expansive with what you're sharing. I don't believe it's like shutting down, like LaTroya mentioned and was part of my journey. Oh, do I just stop being this element of who I am because people are only seeing that? It's not about stopping the so-called superficial or the elements of us that are still very lovable, right? And if people want to see that and love us for that, why do we reject that? We shouldn't reject any love, right? In whatever way that capacity of that human being is sending in our direction. But what we want to do is we want to ask ourselves, like, even the question of what are the things that I personally really value, and what would make me as a human being, what characteristics of me would make me so proud if I was to step more into. So for me, loving kindness is everything, right? Loving kindness, it's having courage, it's leading with the heart, it's being genuinely fascinated and interested in other human beings, it's highlighting their greatness, it's, all these different elements, right? All of it. You just want to make sure that you're seeing what limits you place upon yourself in terms of the narrowness of what you express into the external world. You want to take off the conditions. You want to unnarrow the path. You want to broaden it, right? And you want to be able to show up with all aspects, and however people see you is not a disappointment of, oh, they can only see me for this. It's more of a reflection that you're only seeing yourself for that. And how can you see that you bring all these other beautiful gifts? And when you can go on that journey of identifying all the most meaningful, beautiful gifts of who you are, and then having the courage to share more of that, that is when you can accept love in whatever realm it comes from, in whatever narrow from the external side, and you can appreciate it for the entirety of who you are. All right, so just remember, anybody loving you for aspects of yourself that you feel they only love you for is just a reflection of what you're leading with. So asking yourself, why do I just choose to lead with this? What are the elements of myself that I need to maximize and love more and appreciate more and lead with? And it's tailored to you as an individual based on what you value. So you can ask yourself, if I was the best person that I could possibly be, my higher self, what are the characteristics that would make me so proud of the human being that I am? And tap more into those. All right, love it, and always take responsibility. So love that, and couldn't have loved this message anymore. Super grateful to hear that, Data. Love having you here. Awesome. And DB, thank you. Wonderfully said as always. I'm super grateful to hear that, DB. Thank you so much for being here and letting me know. And Brian, just wanted to say hi and enjoyed your message like usual. Keep being you. Thank you, Brian. And hi right back at you. I love knowing who's connecting and what's going on for you. And so thank you for that feedback, and grateful that this message resonated with you. And Julio's here as well, and Heather and Than, you're so welcome. And Carolina and Tony and Leonardo and Jose. Hello, Vanessa. Some of the contemporary problems are that people around the world think that they don't deserve love. As consequences, they don't love either. Absolutely, and that's one of the saddest things in this world that we can all see around us, right? When people shut down and close down from love, it's more of a reflection of their own relationship with themselves, right? Exactly, you hit the nail on the head. Not feeling lovable within themselves. So how other people treat you is really a direct reflection of how they treat themselves. So that's why they shut down and are unable to express love to people around them, because yet they don't feel deserving for that love within themselves, so they don't give that love to themselves, so they hide it away. We always treat others how we end up treating ourselves. We're just mirrors for one another. So when you come across people who can truly love and appreciate and see the greatness in others and all of those beautiful things, you can know that they're doing that within themselves, right? And albeit that we can oftentimes consider ourselves more loving to others than we are to ourselves, I get you to question that. Because one of the biggest wake-up calls I've had in my life, and I see this time and time again, is we think that's true. We think that we're these very loving human beings, but we give everybody else the love and we don't give it to ourselves. But the truth is, and you're not going to like this answer if this resonates with you, but remember, what hurts is only momentary when we grow from it and we use it to our advantage. So my realization with this has been, if you feel like you love and express love to others more so than you do to yourself, it's really that your love, or what you think is love, is really a manipulation of people around you to give you the love that you won't give to yourself. We're always, before we take responsibility, trying to seek to fulfill the voids from within that only we can truly fulfill. We're trying to seek it from external sources. And it might look like we're being loving, but the truth is, if we don't give ourselves that same love, what we're giving to the external world is not a true love. It's a manipulation to get what we want under the surface. All right. And I know that sounds really horrible and brutal, but believe me, if you fall into that trap of giving more love than you can give to yourself, then this is the greatest gift that you could hear right now is, how is that a manipulation? How am I trying to get them to love me? How am I trying to manage their perception of me so I can feel okay? All right. And the moment you realize that, the moment you'll get to the work of what your energy really needs to go in the direction of, which is channeling a self-loving relationship, which is realizing your true relationship with self, where you need the healing, where you need the growth, where you need the self-love, the acceptance, the acknowledgement, all of that stuff, so that you can actually get into your external world and truly be loving, without any sort of price tag attached to it. Okay, so I hope that resonates. I know I went off on a little tangent with that one as well, but Jose, that was such a nail on the head comment. So I appreciate that. And thanks for bringing it to the conversation. And Brandon's here as well, and Brian and Victor. Awesome to see each and every one of you. And Brian says, came in late, but just at the right time. The truth may hurt, but it means we are growing, and that is a gift. Absolutely true, my friend. So hope this message has deeply served and resonated with each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for showing up today. I love you guys contributing to the conversation with your questions, your experiences, your words of wisdom, your insights, all of it. And I do invite you to share this message with anybody else that you feel could resonate with it, so that we can expand our beautiful community and what we're co-creating in this space. So much love and appreciation for each and every one of you guys. And Jose says, exactly, thank you for the enlightenment. You're always welcome, my friend, and thanks so much for contributing. And Simon's in the house. I hope you catch a recording for this one today, my friend. Get a ton of value from it. Share your wisdom with us all, and I will look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys very, very soon. Oh, my exciting little message I forgot to mention until just now also is that we've got another amazing interview with one of you beautiful members of our community in the Limitless Potential Community and Academy. We've got the amazing Bill Hinter. And so, oh my gosh, I'm super excited about delivering this one for you guys. It'll be at 8 a.m. Sunday, Australian time. If you're in the States or pretty much anywhere else in the States, it'll be in your afternoon on Saturday. And if you are in the UK, Europe, it'll be more like your Saturday night, kind of late. So come and party with us. Have hopefully some great humor. He's a very humorous, amazingly wise individual. I can't wait to share him more with you and on this weekend. So hope you guys can join us live. It will be here on Facebook. And can't wait to see you guys then. And you're awesome as well, Javier. Much love to each and every one of you guys. And without forgetting, my message to you always is to honor your authenticity, to deepen your intimacy, and to contribute meaningfully and purposefully. You've got a gift. We're here to receive it from you, but you've got to get out of your own way, and self-love is the key. And we'll be talking about that in our interview with Bill Hinter on the weekend as well. All right, so much love for you guys, and I'll see you soon.